We have some major breaking news right now. The Trump administration just arrested a sitting United States senator simply for trying to do his job. The man on the floor in the photo that you're looking at right now is Democratic Senator Alex Padilla from California, and he went to a press conference where Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was speaking, and he wanted to ask her a question about enforcement in the state of California, the state that he represents, and instead of answering that question, the people around Kristi Noem, the officers around her, detained him, dragged him out of the room, threw him to the ground, and put handcuffs on him. It is one of the scariest videos I've seen in Trump's America, and I want to show you the entire incident, which was caught on video right now. Have a look.
Guys, ready? And bell. Sir, hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
I also wanted to
hands off.
how many of our ICE agents have been docked.
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here.
I do not know.
There's no recording allowed out here per FBI, right?
For what, I'm sorry?
There's no recording allowed out here.
That's my boss. I have to
There's no
record
recording
everything
allowed out
first.
here. You can record. There's no recording allowed out here.
I'm not a member
There's
of the
no
press.
recording allowed.
I understand that, sir, but
Wow. In the United States of America, you, me, and the entire country just witnessed a sitting U.S. senator being arrested for trying to do his job. He's in the state that he represents, that he was elected in overwhelmingly. It wasn't even close. And he wants to ask a Trump administration official a question about what they're doing in his state, the state that he represents, and this is the way he's treated. Thrown on the ground, arrested, handcuffed, dragged out of the room. And we saw at the end there that the officers, the people who work for Kristi Noem, were saying, oh, there's no filming out here. There's filming in there, but you can't film it here. They don't want this arrest caught on camera. They don't want you seeing it because they recognize how bad it looks. And the question I have for you at home is, if they can do this to a U.S. senator, a sitting United States senator trying to do his job in the state that he represents, imagine what they're going to do to you. Imagine what they're going to do to me, you, everybody at home, if they protest or make their voices heard or simply try to ask a question, detained and arrested. Now, this is caught on camera. Imagine what they're doing when the cameras are not rolling. Now, the Department of Homeland Security already tried to provide a justification for what they did to Senator Alex Padilla, and they wrote this on Twitter, quote, Senator Padilla chose disrespectful political theater and interrupted a live press conference without identifying himself or having his Senate security pin on as he lunged towards Secretary Noem. Mr. Padilla was told repeatedly to back away and did not comply with officers' repeated commands. Secret Service thought he was an attacker. An attacker, they say, and officers acted appropriately. Secretary Noem met with Senator Padilla after and held a 15-minute meeting. Now, all of this from the video that we just watched is total fabrication. There was no lunging. He was standing there. We just saw it in the video. Let's go back to the beginning. Please, does anybody look like this man is lunging at somebody? The senator right there, does it look like he's lunging at somebody? And also, they said that he didn't identify himself. He never identified himself as part of the Senate. Let's just listen to the beginning of the clip again.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla.
What was that?
Hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla.
Okay, so good. The video that we just watched that every single American is seeing right now completely debunks this statement from the Trump administration, which is he identified himself. There was no lunging. There was no threat. He is a United States senator thrown to the ground. And this scene should scare any American, regardless of political affiliation. Even if you don't agree with Senator Padilla and his politics, a U.S. senator being thrown to the ground simply for trying to do his job in his state should terrify every American. The Democrats are horrified, independents are horrified, but right now, the Republicans are celebrating this. The RNC research account on Twitter said Gavin Newsom watches video of a sitting Democrat senator being removed for barging into a briefing and thinks the law enforcement ones are out of control. They also said California Democrat Senator Padilla was arrested and that Democrats are totally unhinged. Chuck Schumer is sickened by Alex Padilla getting removed from a briefing he forcefully interrupted, but not by the violent riots. They are trying to spin this right now. They are trying to come up with a justification for what we all saw because of how gross it is. Because this kind of things only happen in dictatorial countries. They don't happen in democracies where elected officials are trying to do the job in their state. This doesn't happen in America. And the Republicans understand that. They're trying to come up with a justification right now. Now, I want to show you some reactions from people about what we saw from across the political spectrum. We just saw from the RNC research account, which is like a wing of the Trump operation. But I want to show you some more reactions. Here's Governor Gavin Newsom of California, the governor of the state, saying, if they can handcuff a U.S. senator for asking a question, imagine what they will do to you. And this is an important point. There are protests scheduled for across the United States this Saturday, the No Kings protests, where over 3 million Americans are projected to attend. Across the country, different protests, around 1,800 scheduled in 1,800 different cities. That's a major, major problem. If the Trump administration is arresting sitting senators for doing their job, imagine what the Trump administration is going to do to people who are dissenting this Saturday. It's a valid question from the governor. He also reacted to the original clip saying, Senator Alex Padilla is one of the most decent people I know. This is outrageous, dictatorial, and shameful. Trump and his shock troops are out of control. This must end now. This must end now. I completely agree with the governor. There has to be an investigation into what we saw take place here because these officers acted in an incredibly inappropriate manner. Obviously, no matter how much the Republicans tried to defend it, there is no justification for what we just saw. I want to show you another reaction from Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican, saying, quote, about the clip, I've seen that one clip. It's horrible. It is shocking at every level. It's not the America I know. This is a Republican. And Senator Susan Collins, another Republican, said something similar to Murkowski, which is, this is absolutely unacceptable. There is no justification for this. It's not the America I know. And I agree with her. This is not the America we know. This did not happen in Joe Biden's America. It didn't happen in Obama's America. It didn't even happen in Bush or Clinton or any of these other presidents' America. This is Trump's America, where stuff like this is normalized. It seems like he does stuff like this all the time. Nancy Pelosi, who is, of course, a representative from California, responded saying, this assault is not only on Senator Alex Padilla, but on freedom of speech and expression in our country. These actions taken by Trump's DHS communicates a message to all Americans that none of us are safe. A very, very powerful comment there, that none of us are safe. And I think it is a really important point that our elected officials are making right now, which is, and I've said it before, but I want to reiterate it, if they can do this to a sitting U.S. senator, imagine what they'll do to you. Nobody is safe. If they can do this to elected officials, just imagine what they're going to do to average everyday Americans. And we're seeing clips like this all around the country, especially in LA, of federal officials, the National Guard, police, and whatnot, treating protesters who aren't even doing anything horribly. There was a protester who was aimed at and shot by police the other day, a reporter, the same situation. They weren't doing anything. They weren't interrupting anything. They were standing there. Police officer turned and shot them with rubber bullets. It is insane what's happening in Trump's America, and this needs to end right now. There needs to be an investigation. Something needs to be done about what happened to Senator Padilla, because it's absolutely unacceptable. So look, I just wanted to bring this video to your attention. I'm sure you've seen it, but I wanted to provide all these different reactions that we just saw as well. But I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.